What is up, old school RuneScape fans, friends of mine, buddies? It's your boy, Ojama Garrett's here with another video. Today's video, I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make mass free-to-play alts to get them trade restrictions off and stuff like that. And I wanted to break it down for y'all and show the little optimizations and nuances that are involved. So, first thing you want to do is, let me show you here. Let me shrink myself. Bing. We want to get to the title or the display settings here, and then you want to go for a 3840 times 2160. That resolution will make it big enough for you to fit 20 clients on your screen. But that being said, too, it really helps when you're loading the clients to have default world. That's a RuneLite setting, and you can set it to one world. Though there is a world limit. It's just nice to have them all in the same world, so you only have to change half of them because you can only have 10 on a world together. So then I would also recommend you turn on low detail. This makes it so that you're not using as many resources, and it's not as distracting for your brain. A lot of this is brain RAM too you're trying to save on. You can also utilize the GPU for FPS, but then FPS control, and I set them for 7 FPS on a unfocused target, so it doesn't use as much of the CPU or the RAM. And I just lower the normal FPS to 24 FPS because you don't really need that much to do what we're doing. Let's see, anything else here? No, not really. There's probably a lot of other optimizations that you could utilize. But also then I want to note too that when you make these changes, you need to do it on one client first. Close it, then reopen it so that it'll affect the rest of the clients. So when you get 20 going, make your Jagex account. Make them all in one Jagex account. It's the easiest way to keep them tracked because you only need to track one email then. Then you're going to log in on the... Well, first let's switch them. Switch these guys to 316. I just do 308 because I always play on 308. And then we're going to play now. Now, normally you'd get a bunch of ear explosions from the volume, but if you open up on your computer, I believe, you go to the sound mixer. Alright, so I found out where it is. So if you open up your mixer and you right click and you hit open volume mixer. I know this is really hard to see because I got the settings really small, so we can fit all this here. You can select your client and then mute them. And I think if you do it on one, then when you load a new one, it'll just stay muted. Okay, so that's just the easy way to get them all muted. And then we're here at the display pages, and if you're making all your accounts at one time, you're going to run into trouble. You should only be able to... When I do this, you only do about 5 at a time before the server times you out and thinks you're like a bot or a spoofer or a spammer or something like that. So we're going to do YouTube channel, or wait, YouTube example 1. Then we're going to set name, YouTube example 2. YouTube example 3. Oops. YouTube example 4. Oh, that's a typo. Who cares? YouTube example 5. And we're just going to set them. And this is what I call the account creation phase. See, we've already got timed out. Okay, cool. So now we got them. Yep, I'm just gonna, I don't know, I like the bot look. I was gonna play with them, but I don't know. So here you want to just talk. And we're doing this segment right now because we are we're doing this part of the segment right now instead of doing them all 20 at a time, just so we can give the server time to refresh. So now this is another thing too. You can't just spam the same number. Like, you can't memorize this first part because they switch around the chat options, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the first ways they try to detect if you're a bot or not. So that, like, you have to, like... I just try to answer that correctly just to make sure. So then, this is what I call the settings segment. It's mixed with the account creation segment. Normally I mute everything, but I mean, with that one thing... we don't need to do this, but it's just in case I ever turn that global mute off, or if I get on another account or another computer or something. Like on my phone. like if I'm checking trades on my phone. So we're gonna open up the settings here. Hide roofs on everybody. Just makes it easier to click. Controls, shift to drop. And then we're gonna go to interfaces. And we're gonna turn off the trade delay and disable the level up interface on all the accounts. And then that segment's done. Now I'll just get through here. When you're making account names, it's also kind of have like patterns. Because if you make beyond, like, I've done about 500 of these, so once you get to about, you know, once you get beyond 20 or something like that, it becomes a little bit more difficult to come up with names. So I kind of just have a pattern. Like, I put in a lot of 420s and 69s because I'm a really funny guy. And then that makes it easy for me to just set the names and forget about them. Because I don't care about the name of the accounts. And actually adding a pattern to them makes them, I feel, in my eyes, more legitimate. Because botters just kind of chuck up, you know what I mean? Like suicide botters especially will just chuck up the default names or whatever they can just to get through. Because they're focused on like just getting through the prompts. I am kind of curious how they're going to deal with the artificial intelligence. Maybe when artificial intelligence deploys, it'll be able to detect itself. That's probably how they're going to have to, like, deal with it. But anyway, yeah, I think now, unless I come up with something to say, I'm going to just speed it up so you guys don't have to look at this part. Right, okay, so that's important to mention, too. So this is also a high-risk version. When I do 10 accounts on one world, they sometimes run the risk of getting, like, banned. I don't know. I think it's just like when players see a bunch of accounts, you can still report, even on Tutorial Island. So it looks a little fishy, probably, to see 10 accounts. And it is a little bit faster if we... Oh, crap. I forgot to start the clock, too. Well, the clock started on here, so I'll just remember to add 5 minutes or something like that. Yeah, we'll just add 5 minutes because it looks like we're about 5 minutes. Yeah. So even messing around from start to finish, we'll get the time. So I got the clock running. So then another thing I want to say is that you want to hold the spacebar down as much as possible when you're doing conversations, because then while you're moving from one account to the next account, you will skip, or it will be more efficient for you to get through conversations as you click down. All right, so this is good. If you go too fast, then you do time the servers out. This is what happens at the bottom right here. It says requesting, and then it won't be able to. You'll have to redo it over and over again before it'll like let you through. But now, every time you time the server out, it does slow your time down. So when it comes here, the system's currently unavailable. Please try again. Click the name again, and then look it up again. And then retry it again one at a time. See if you can get through. Yep, so he's through. So click again, look up name. Set name, hopefully make it through. He's timed out again. Whenever you get stuck on a spot with one of the accounts, go away from it and then work on another one while you're waiting for it to happen again. Don't, like, just try to pay attention to whether you're staring at the screen. You want to constantly be working. So to see he finally got through, so then these guys are good to go. We'll just catch this guy up. It's not the end of the world if you misclick one of these conversations. It just changes a little bit of the pattern from when you leave Tutorial Island. Oops. Now, one of the reasons why you want to do the alternate method is where you have everybody on their own separate world, or at least two worlds, 2 per world or something like that. And this is one of the issues that happens here. Once I get there, let me get this conversation done here. So if I come here and I click here and I try to bring somebody else to the door, you have to wait that tick for the door to open and let the account through. So like how I kind of mitigate that a little bit is I hop from world to world. You see what I'm saying here. But it's not that efficient. If you were to just do it on every account on its own separate world, it would be a lot easier to manage this door. Yeah, now I have to do it again. So all these 10 of these. It's good to stop every couple seconds to make sure everybody's on the same step before you like start the next segment. And we are done with the settings segment. That is the first segment is the creation and settings segment. So then here, what I like to do to make it a little bit easier on myself is account bus. Oh, technically it is a little bit faster to just send everybody down there one at a time, except for it just like is going to be very messy. Having everybody not being in the same spot and then going from account to account to find the target, if that makes sense. Find the target for the next click. And I just do this out of convenience to bring everybody down next to the same target so it makes the next click a little bit easier. So we click here, click. Hold the space bar down, of course, when you're clicking over. And then we get a couple of the chat. The chat's done while we're clicking everybody to get the conversation started. So now this is something you do to speed through the conversations on multiple accounts. This is where you're going to make up a lot of idle time, okay? So if you hold the spacebar down and you spam the middle mouse button in this pattern where you go down, 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 flash, like flash trading, if you guys see that one, you flash through them, and then you're taking advantage of that like tick that it takes to move to the next account, and then that dramatically lowers the amount of idle time. I don't think my time's going to be very good. Being that this is a tutorial, I forgot to change these guys' windows as well. I'll do that right now, actually. You don't have to do this part. I just do this because this is what I was used to, because this is the layout I grew up on. That makes it slightly faster for me. But again, this isn't going to be a perfect time. If you practice this, you will beat this time every time. So I'm confident this is going to give you... You'll be impressed with the time after I'm done. This is another reason, or this is another advantage of using the same world versus opposite worlds. The opposite worlds, you can go a lot faster because of the door thing, the gate thing, you know, going from one step to the other. But if you're on the same world, your target remains in the same spot for the clicks. So again, here, look at flash, middle mouse button, just spamming through. This gets very fatiguing on your wrists after a while, but it does. Like the time save, just because of that mechanic, is very good. So here's something I wanted to point out. Oh. As see the trees cut down, they will finish their animation no matter what. So if you're fast enough and get everybody to click the same tree at the same time as the first one's animation, they will all cut the tree down. Like right here, these two. You see that? He's still cutting the tree even though the tree fell. And I don't know if that's an intended glitch by Jagex. So Jagex, if you see this and you need to fix that, there's a whatever, but I'm pretty sure that's within the game rules. Or if that does end up getting me banned, then I can update you guys with the tutorial on that. Yeah. So, right. So now, for this one, I've noticed that you can burn a log, and so you can't burn fire in the same tile if the fire is already down. But if you start everybody's fire at the same time, it'll let them burn it at the same time. So I try to do like maybe 5 at a time in the same tile. Again, if you're on opposite worlds, you don't need to even worry about this. See how the fire's starting? And then I'll just have them cook, because if you try to do all 20 cooking at the same time, the fire will run out. So then I do this as one segment on 5 accounts at a time. I batch them in 5s. As you can see here, they all cooked. So, yeah. We'll just move all these guys to the same tile. Just to keep it simple and easy. Burn, burn, burn. And it takes the same amount of ticks as possible on the tutorial island. Like, it's not like a chance to start a fire or a chance to cut the trees down like it does in the main world. Like, Tutorial Islands mechanics are a little bit different. And I think they do it this way so that they can guarantee that, like, the actions are successful, like with the burning or with the shrimp. That's why if you start a cook with a shrimp on another person's fire, it has a chance to burn. But if you cook the shrimp on your own fire that you started yourself, it will always cook. Okay. So again, we're just gonna burn again. And since they all started before the first fire started, they all will get the cook-off. But that's okay. So now here, I'm not going to do the account bus since it's all in one frame. I'm just going to kind of look for the red line and click near it. For the next part of the tutorial island. And like I said, if Jagex sees this and these accounts deserve to get banned for that, whatever, it's fine. I don't think, like, it's a game-breaking glitch or anything along the lines of that. And if you're scared of doing that, just do all these accounts on different worlds. Then you just avoid all the risk of getting banned. So my pattern here, I'm going to go top, bottom, middle, bottom, middle, bottom, top, bottom, middle, bottom. Top, bottom, middle, bottom. You know what I mean? Just doing a pattern like this, you can alternate between the gates. Cool. Then we'll just click down to the door. You know what I mean? You can just click on the flashing arrow. Just be a little careful with this click, because if you click it like into the house, they'll run into different spots on the outside of the house. I'm hoping with my name, too, that people see that I'm not botting, that these are examples. I guess, you know, botters could do this, too, but why would they? You know what I mean? Like, multiscapers and botters, this is another reason why I wanted to make this channel. Like, there's very, very obviously different things that multiscapers do that botters would not care about. Like account busing. Why would... I've had people call me out, oh my god, does that mean I didn't do any of the settings? I forgot to hide roofs? Yes, I did. I forgot to do all the settings of these guys. Why? But why would they account bust when the bot can just, like, unless they're like specifically trying to look like people, but it's still like less efficient for the bots to do that. You know what I mean? And maybe I'm giving them tips that I should, but whatever. It is what it is. Inside, inside, outside, outside. Okay, so we're here. Here, same pattern. Doing them in columns up to down is the more efficient way to do some patterns. Some patterns are better horizontally. Some patterns are better with an like the N or the squiggly. Some patterns are better vertically, and like going through these doors is I found more effective going vertically. Do what works for you. This is just a way of doing it to get you started. Because, like, all systems can be improved upon. This is not the end-all, be-all. I just wanted to give this tutorial so that, like, you guys can skip a bunch of steps and get you a little bit further ahead. I do also want to say that this is an extremely mentally draining. Your first, like, the first multi-accounts I ever made and tried to manage them was like some of the most mentally taxing things I've ever done. Like when I went from 1 account to 3 account or 2 accounts, that was like a very big jump. And then when I went to 4 accounts, is an even bigger jump. And then when like I tried, I think when the Gold Party Hat event came out for Runescape 3, I made 20 accounts so I could do that, and I bonded them all up so I could get the hats. Because they're selling for like 300 mil, Rs3, which is like 30 mil. I was just closing Discord there because, yeah, chatting. But anyway, distractions, limiting distractions. But when I scaled up and I did the 20 accounts for the first time, trying to get the Gold Party Hat at all 20 of the accounts, I got so burnt out. I stopped playing RuneScape for almost a year. I mean, like, I'd get on. I always trade. I mean, but, like, played the game. Like, didn't do any money makers. Didn't do anything like that. Just didn't play. Because it burnt me out so bad. Like, the mental, like I'm saying, like, the mental toughness that this will build in you. Maybe it's just me, too. But it will change you. It'll change you as a person. It's very difficult is all I'm trying to say. So yeah. So what I'm saying there, yeah, it's hard for me to talk and do this all at the same time because this is now a new level of mental load. Trying to do all the commentary and teach you guys what I'm doing as I go along. What I'm trying to say is, don't get discouraged. Just progressively increase it. Don't do 20. Okay, start with 3, 2, 1. Start with 4. I don't know. Whatever you're comfortable trying out for the first time, do that first. Okay, so this is like going to be a very, very good spot for account busting because we're going to go multiple frames, multiple squares, multiple chunks. So this click here is going to turn into a lot of time saved. So now that we got the ball account bust up, kind of scan over. That's what I do every now and then. Make sure everybody's moving. Don't like try to like see what they're doing. Just make sure all the clients are moving and nobody's stuck. Because getting stuck kind of like kills it. You know what I mean? Yep. So we're running up. We'll have the account buses go in so that the followers follow. Or they're supposed to. Whatever. Messed that up, I guess. But then we're going to go back to our pattern. Oh my gosh. See? I said that. See, I missed one. I scanned it, and I still didn't do it. I didn't turn the ropes off on this guy. This is why it's important to take your time. All I did was forget to turn the ropes off on him. So I'm going to stop again because I made a couple of mistakes. Important. And I'm just going to scan every account to make sure we're on the same step. And you don't need to stop what you're doing. You can continue to chat and then catch the guy up, but just stopping periodically and just making sure everybody's on the same step or getting there, or like what you need to do to get them back up. Maybe even just catch the one account back up if you're not comfortable. Continuing on, because if you, what I found is that like when I start one error, then the errors start to compound. So then you need to take a second to reset yourself, rebalance yourself. And also with spam clicking, don't spam click from client to client. So like when you get into this range here, take your time really to hit the clicks right, because the longer you take to make sure that you make a correct click, the more chat options you'll get through on the previous account. So it'll increase your, it'll lower your error rate, increasing your consistency, and it'll also increase the, like you're still working passively. But by all means, like, that doesn't mean slow down on purpose. Like, if you can speed up. Like, if you can guarantee your clicks good, you don't need to stop because, like, it is what it is. But increasing volume, like, it's better to reduce error rate than it is to, like, go fast. So we're aiming to, your first metric for scaling multi-accounts up would be reducing error rate. Now, instead of doing account bust, I know the guy is kind of right here. And this is just because I've done this so many times. So I know like where to click on my mini-map to kind of get me really close. Except for when the mini-map's not in the correct spot. Oh, geez. Error rate max. Your error rate will go up with distractions. That's what I was doing. I saw a message again on Discord and I got screwed up. Looks like I clicked the bookshelf there instead of the ladder. Technically, when you see the pickaxe in the inventory here, you can start the next step. I just like finishing the conversation to make sure we're all on the same step. So then here too, I kind of do it like a door. You need to click them all on different rocks. But another thing you can do to just kind of make sure that you reduce the error rate is to just like the door pattern, but just kind of click a different rock every time you do it. Or have 3 rocks you can rotate from. But one of the things I do to move on consistently from this step is to just make sure I see tin in everybody's chat. If I don't see tin in everybody's chat, I don't move on to the next step until I get tin in everybody's inventory. Once I see tin, we are good to move on to the next step. As you can see here, you can just do the other method like I'm doing right here, where you just kind of click a different rock with every count, if you could handle that. And then by the time you get done with like the first set of waves, or the first set of rocks, you should be able to go in there with another set of accounts, like 5, and then mine them all again. And then again, before we get to the furnace section, I just want to make sure everybody's got a copper in their inventory now. Copper chat. It's easier to see the chat than it is for you to target your eyes onto the inventory to see. Well, at least for me. Oh man, this is already going to be a super long one. I'm going to have to break this down in parts. Everybody's got their bar. Now we're going to get our hammer. Then we're going to flash chat, where you do the middle mouse button. You know what I mean? See that like slight delay? And you can get through like 8 chats before it catches up. So we're killing a lot of idle time. And then we're just going to get everybody to the anvil, look for the pop-up on every screen before I finish this step. Another tip, take breaks. If you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, you probably are, and push a little bit further, maybe. Take a break. Leave them logged in. Turn on the 25-minute idle timer or whatever. Go walk away. Just go sit down, do nothing. All right, so now we're going to click here. Move everybody. Well, let's see. Moving everybody to the gate here is probably the best way you want to do this part, because you can't really like go from account to account through the gate because of the amount of time it takes for the first account to actually run through. Because you got to run all over there first, and then after you get everybody running over there, then you can go to your last pattern, and then have everybody go through the gate. I know I can't get to the gate doing this. I'm just doing it so everybody stops at the gate and I can do my normal pattern here. Because if you get them to the gate and the gate can be opened, they'll half of them will stop halfway there. If that makes sense. So I'm just trying to give a guaranteed target for all of them to stop at, and then like a prompt for me to look at from the chat. So now we'll go combat, then the door can be open. Then we'll start fighting. Combat. Start fighting. Start fighting. Start fighting. And this one you don't need to do the exact same pattern because that extra step of you starting the fight is going to take just enough extra time, whoopsies, that the next guy will be able to get through the door without a delay. And this is what I also mean about botting too. Like a botter would not even bother. Like in terms of like them looking like a player, just from a logistics point of view, they wouldn't give a shit about looking like a player at this point of the game because it's Tutorial Island, and free-to-play suicide bots don't give a shit about that. They would all just go through as efficiently as possible. But like a multi-scaper, if you ever see them go and do one action at a time, it makes sense for a player to do it because that's literally your limit, but a botter cannot and will not do that. Most of this, I would assume so. And if they do, it's going to be, they're still going to get detected botting because they'll get caught eventually botting. Botters get caught. So like them doing this little slight optimization to look a little bit more human-like would make no sense. So now we're going back to the original pattern once we kill the rat on everybody. It's very easy for your brain to get stuck in patterns and to like think you did everything correctly before. So I'd be like playing slow, oopsies, like that. Playing slow and making sure you get everybody done correctly. Like now I'm gonna look and make sure there's a yellow arrow on everybody just quickly. And I'm not gonna be as efficient at doing that because I'm trying to talk to you guys at the same time. This tutorial's already fucking 41 minutes. And this is by far the most difficult part of this run. Shooting each of the rats, because there's a bunch of spots your accounts get stuck on, and then you think you killed the rat on everybody. You think you put the bow on and the arrows, but then you only put the bow on, but not the arrows, and da-da-da-da-da. You'll see. I kind of like, before I move on to the next one, I just look for the XP drop. Again, this is going to be a severe advantage in this step, being in a different world than on the same world, because you won't have to compete with yourself for all the rats in the pit. And then we click over to the bank. But I think I can one-click this if I just change the camera angle. $45 minutes, damn. Or at least, what's the clock say? 39, yeah, about 45. Oh, yeah, okay. So we got 2 missed. Okay, so we're gonna go through the door. So we're gonna follow our pattern here. It's not gonna be as perfect because they're not right next to it. Man, I can't believe I used to hold all this like secret. I'm so secretive about all this because I didn't want people to know all this. But it's like I could never move on beyond this unless I give everything I know away first. You know what I mean? Like I got to turn this. I got to get out of the competitive mindset. I got to turn this to a collaborative effort. If this kills my account farming, but whatever, you know what I mean? I don't need 750 accounts. I mean, if it forces me to scale down to like 60 or 50 or whatever, I mean, it is what it is. But everybody else is gonna get paid. You know what I mean? I like studied this and I optimized this as much as I could to get like as efficient farming as possible for players to utilize, hopefully, and then hopefully you guys can get a little bit more rich yourselves. Like, this is ultimately like low key one of the best money makers in the game, and it's a free to play money maker. Like I said in another video, I was doing like 150 mil a week. It was like 1 day of trading. Like every 3 weeks, there's an hour. And then the 4th week, 6 hours. And then because of that, I make 150 a week. Granted, you need a large amount of capital up front to like match that rate, but still, you'll, on any scale, this is worth your time. If you get 20 traders going, man, you're going to make a lot of money. It may be rough a little bit at first, but that's what my whole videos, all my channel is going to be about, is like just like, oops, show you guys how I got to where I got to, and then giving it away, you know what I mean? Like, I love Runescape. I gave away my bank, but what I'm really giving away, that's a lot more worth than my bank. I could get that bank back in probably like 20 weeks. 20 weeks. Even, nah. We'll say, I don't know. I don't even want to say, I don't even want to know how much I can get back with. Like, all I know is like how efficient I've gotten at doing all this stuff is that I'll make a lot of money. And a lot faster. I could probably, like, the amount of time it took me to get that bank in the first place, I can get that bank 10 times as fast now. Easily. So yeah, this is where like flash chatting is going to like utilize the most. You're going to save the most on idle time using flash trading here. But anyway, yeah. So like what I'm saying here is too, like, just a commentary a little bit on my this little farm here. Like, the best part about this farm is like, man, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like once you understand like what this will make you, what you have to become to be able to like operate a farm like this, like you will then all of a sudden like the world of economics will start to come out. Okay, I'm not gonna. Yeah. I can just click the same spot here. It's almost out of frame, so like I was just about to account bust just because like my brain was like defaulting to that because I was talking a lot. But anyway, what I was saying, you can click under the minimap too. I don't know if people know that. Like these faces here, they're just like sprites, like, but they're not. They don't stop clicks. So like you can bet if you just get in the center of the church, you'll be right next to the brother. Anyway, like what you will become. This changed my life fundamentally forever. I was watching this guy named Jim Rohn, and he said, set a goal to become, he had a mentor, and he said, set a goal to become a millionaire, not for $1 million, but what you will become to be able to make $1 million, what it will make of you. And like, man, that blew my mind. And when I heard that, and then everything I did here to become like the Runescape multi-scaper trader, high volume guy, you know what I mean? Like, I pushed myself. I set a goal to make like 10,000 accounts. That's what started this. I'm not even close to 10,000 accounts, but just even getting 10% of the way there is insane. Like what it has done to me. And for me to get to 10,000 accounts would have made me probably a monster. Like I was doing the math on like, you'd have to be playing like RuneScape for like somewhere like 13 to 18 hours a day. Be able to manage like 10,000 traders efficiently at 100% efficiency. Like what I was doing at the rate with like 500, something like that. It was like, but then like with the 10,000 accounts, even if they made 10K a day, how much money is that a day? Insane amount of money. And then you'd have to worry about like Jagex you'd have to worry about false bans because the false bans would come. I know people on Reddit, all those like Reddit moderator types, like, you know, the Reddit people, you know, Fedora people, the trolls, the naysayers, the haters, the trolls, the ones that say that, like the ones that always say you're botting no matter what, the people who are like saying like, because some people do get false banned. It happens. I've been false banned at so many accounts, and I personally can attest to that. And I'm showing my face. My name is in my channel. My identity is not hidden. And the fact that I'd be putting my reputation on the line to say I have been false banned by Jagex multiple times. Or if they had reasons to ban certain accounts, they're not transparent on how, like, what exactly I did, which is like good for their business interests. And I'm not sitting here trying to hate on Jagex or anything like that, but I'm just saying people get false banned. So the amount of false bans you'd have to manage and deal with, and then like the amount of labor you put into like making all these accounts, like one account in a vacuum isn't a lot of labor when you do 1,000. Or like one time I ran 60 accounts at the same time once I figured out how to like the RuneScape configuration. I did 60 accounts on Tutorial Island. I was super excited to. It took me like 4 hours, or something like that. I don't remember. It took a massive amount of time. Plus, like I had to stop constantly to like feed my kid shit. I don't know if I should have this right at the tutorial, but I mean, like, whatever. I don't care. Holy moly, this is gonna be a huge piece of content. Anyway, like, I just remember logging on the next day, and half my accounts got banned. So then from there on, once I lost half the accounts, I've never had a wave that big of accounts I lost. I think I lost like up to that point out of 750, I lost like 4 accounts, and like I think it was because I had a VPN on. I don't remember, but I peeled them and they wouldn't come back. But then I lost half the accounts and I peeled, and I wrote up this big statement saying, I love the game, I don't cheat, here's all my main accounts, here's like this, and like, why would I spend this much money? Because I spend like $60, or no. I have like 4 premier memberships that I purchase a year. Whatever that math is. Like, why would I cheat? Oh, wait, this is a good account plus spot, sorry. Because it's 2 frames. And the camera angles make this really weird. So I'm just going to count plus to safely bring us up there. Plus, there's a lot of spots you can misclick to, and then it'll put your accounts in a lot of weird spots. So this is just a decent spot just to account bus. Anyway, like, I lost them all, and then it hit me. I was like, dude, for me to go beyond the scale that I'm doing right now, I'm going to lose. I'm going to maybe risk losing half my accounts. So then that was what started me live streaming. If you look back on any of my videos, I had live streams of me doing runs, because if Jagex was going to ban me, I was going to get some clout for it. You know what I mean? I was going to create some content and start some controversy to force them to stop banning my accounts. Yeah, it's just crazy the amount of scale. Like what you become to do this, like it will make you a different person, and it will. I can't explain it how exactly, but if you were to stretch yourself doing this type of stuff, your ability, the way you view problems in real life changes fundamentally forever. And like you just all of a sudden, like for me, I started walking around knowing I was more valuable, like exponentially more valuable than I used to be. It is a weird feeling. I can't explain it except for that way. I can't explain why, but then like as I started, like I was a machine operator for the company I used to work for. I was a machine operator there, and like using the system is like the systemization, iterations, and optimization and stuff like that. All these different, all the little mini micro skills you learn doing something like this. All of a sudden, like my overall efficiency on my line started like creeping up, and then as it started like barely like the momentum was low, all of a sudden I just hit like a critical mass, and then all of a sudden I'm the #1 producer of the plant. Like maybe not on any given day. Like if and in my plant, I don't know. Maybe I'm giving it don't matter. I don't care. I don't care about personal details. I want to be transparent with people. Anyway, I was operating a plant that was like the garage sale line in the plant, and they had like these $40-50 million lines that like on their best days could do like 10% of the volume I could, but they were not. Their error rate was high. You know, I was saying that like you need to reduce your error rate. That's more important than running really fast. What is it? This one manager I had who hated me, and I hated him. He said one thing that will always stick with me though is like a slow penny is better than a fast dime, and that's kind of what that means. Again, here being on opposite worlds will make this a lot easier because then you don't have to like risk aggroing chickens and then slowing down the process here because sometimes there's not a chicken available, like right now. Somebody else will be doing combat with it. Oh, geez. And that slows you down a little bit. But anyway. Just don't, all of a sudden, like, critical mass, and then, like, I'm not even... I had optimized my line settings so much that, like, I realized that the operators before me that had been running the line for 10, 20 years, and whether they knew it or not, were not even running the line at the maximum, like, speed, like, literally possible for the machine's capabilities. And I decided to go limit test. And I got it to the point where, like, we do a lot of volume in the plant. So, like, per shift, like, the machines I was running would do anywhere from, like, on normal days, like, 30 to 50,000 pounds of cheese. We made sliced cheese. And, with just, like, system optimizations and stuff like that, I found all these little inefficiencies. And, like, after doing the math and doing a bunch of experimentation and stuff like that, I'd gotten into that, like, if I was just allowed, because there was, like, a lot of drama, political drama between the other operators and stuff, and difference of opinion, and I was the lowest seniority operator, so I just, like, kept my mouth shut. Anyway, all that aside, like, after my settings were, like, I had optimized them and wrote down, like, what we could do to, like, you limit test, you got to find out the new problems, and you got to solve the new problems. I didn't want to, like, speed up the line, hand it off the next shift, and say, haha, good luck. I wanted to, like, fix all the issues on my line. So I would speed it up, run into the problems myself, work on them, and then you do not want to mess this one up. You want to say 3, and it's always going to be in the same spot. You do not want to be an Iron Man. That screws it. If you misclick this one, it's kind of really screwy, obviously. But anyway, I like this rant, so maybe it's ruining the tutorial, but I'm doing this kind of for me too. But anyway, so like, I fixed the problems in my line, and I got it to the point where, like, so the big reveal, I got it so that I'd be able to produce, just from the optimizations of the settings, an extra 1 million pounds a year of sliced cheese just from my line. One line. And then you could just, like, I think we ran, like, 9 lines in the whole factory or something like that. And if you implemented, like, similar strategies, because, like, we didn't have a lot of slice lines, because they were downgrading that part of production to go for shredded cheese, because it was more efficient. Because of a lot of other logistical reasons or whatever they decided, because they're really smart. They have MBAs. I don't. I was just a high school dropout. Anyway, I'm just an old school Runescape player. Anyway, there's the tutorial island. Let's stop the clock quick. I'll finish that story later, maybe. So we got 54 minutes plus 5, so we'll do 59 minutes. So if we do 59 minutes, Granted, the settings segment is a waste of time, kind of, but for the world record, take this into account. The world record does not start until you hit the character creation. So that extra 5 minutes I forgot to start maybe doesn't even come into account here. But we're just going to do it just because I want to show you a slow time so you can show what we can get to. So this is 2.95, so 3 minutes an account. Now, if I ran an account as fast as I could, I think I had a notepad. I was recording it. The fastest time I could get was like 6.5 minutes. And the fastest world record time in the game is 2 minutes and 48 seconds. And just from the power of scale, as you can see here, scale and diminishing returns and idle time, all these other videos I have on my channel, we got the time down for each account for Tutorial Island segment to 3 minutes. And that was a bad run. I was talking the whole time, you know what I mean? So like there is room for improvement here. So I really just want to nail that home before we move on. So let me go back to, let me finish my story up real quick. No, we're not stopping the tutorial. I can finish the story up as we keep going, because this is already an hour long. We're going to keep it going. This is my passion project. This is what I want to give to the world. This is what I want my legacy to be. So anyway, so now what we need to do is drop everything. Oh, sorry. Let me restart or continue the clock. Segment 1, 3 minutes, 54 minutes, 59 minutes, sorry. So now we're going to go to our inventories. And this is going to flood your screen, but we're going to drop everything. You can drop everything or drop everything but the mine and the arrows. That's what I do. And it's just habit for me now because I used to do a different way, but so now it's just habit. So this is why we did the shift click in the settings so that we could do this part. And I did try a similar way, and I'm still going to experiment with it, where like instead of doing this part of the segment where we drop everything and just get rid of it, we just go to the bank and dump it. But as you'll see a little bit later, that complicates things a little bit. So anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about with the factory, but anyway, yeah. Oh yeah, what this made of me to like figure the system out, solve these problems and stuff like that. It made me more valuable. And I guess that's the gist of it. I don't remember exactly. Maybe if people are interested, I can watch this back and maybe continue stories from the old life. But I just want to like, this is why it's super important to me as like a passion project to like teach the community about it, because like I owe a lot to Runescape. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. They got their MBAs and they spent the millions of dollars on the robots and the engineers and all those other people with their like programming and stuff. And they're like these shredding lines, they had like robots and they had like these robot arms that would like bag automatically. But the salesman hyped it up. It's, to me, my personal opinion, the salesman seemed to have hyped up the product's ability to produce on that side of the plant. So there was like, you know, like I said, if they hit their critical mass, I wasn't touching their efficiency percentages. But if they, most of the time, they had a high error rate. And then all I did was like focus on reducing my error rate by solving every little problem on the line as an operator, as much as the ability as possible. Coordinating with the maintenance staff and coordinating with other operators and coordinating with as many people as I could. And I took a lot of heat in my factory for how much I talk, but I decided to like, instead of like listening to the haters and like letting it get to me like I did my whole life, I hit this point in my life like because the job was so shitty that I just hit a switch flipped at me and I decided to double down on talking. So I talked forward, just kept talking. And anyway, so here we go. So now we have everything dropped. We need to log into... We need to log out of 2 accounts and then bring in our secret weapon over here. You may have seen this from my last tutorial if you watched that. But this is the secret weapon, and this is an account that has all of the packaged goods. The packaged goods that we're going to need. Oh, the heeds go home. And we need to bring him over. And a little optimization. Don't trade him to them. Have them trade to him. Okay? So we're going to trade to our big boy here, our secret weapon. And this is the trading segment. Then we're going to go to the trade menu here, and you start from the top. Go down about 5. That's what I do. and then go to the bottom and then start trading up for 4, just to make it easier on yourself, so you don't have to count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what I mean? Like that gets harder. Every number you go down, it's harder to follow on this line because the text is so small and stuff like that. So anyway, so we're gonna trade Cook's Assistant, Vampire Slayer, Imp Catcher, 3 fish, 3 salmon, but like you're gonna want more. I just do 3. Whatever. And then we're gonna need 14,000 casts, I believe. We're gonna do 15,000 casts of Earth Strike just to be safe for later. Anyway, and we're gonna need some runes for Vampire Slayer. So 15k, and then 7,500. Oh, I skipped. Yep. Boom, 1. That's because I don't have the inventory. Whatever. So yeah. So we got the fish, and then we did the runes, and we did the Goblin Diplomacy, and then Splash Gear, and 1,000 coins. And then that is our loadout for the questing segments. And the Splash segment. Yep. So, right. So now we come back here, go to the second guy. And just make sure the slots are the same. You know what I mean? And then start from the bottom. You know what I mean? Then you don't have to count down to 6 or whatever. All right, now we need to log this guy out. Move him over. Log back in your 10th account. All right, now I can hop 316. While I'm waiting for that, set up the account bus. I know you already have. Let's just set up the account bus. And then turn walk on just so I can make sure I'm doing it all. Okay. Make sure everybody's moving, everybody's following. Okay. Now we're just going to begin the trade segment over here. I'm getting a little nauseous from the amount of things I'm doing, so we know I am getting some work done. Now we're going to begin the quest segment after we finish the trade segment by going to this bank. And there is a Rune Light plugin I use that is for going upstairs without having to right-click it. It turns it into a shift click. I don't remember what it's called, though. All but 5 slots. And then while I'm here too, I'll be able to double check everything to make sure that everybody's got their right amount of gear. Like the triple. Usually where I mess up is the goblin mail. I haven't completely skipped an account in a long time. All right, so we're here. So this is from a previous episode I was talking about. So here's something here. So if you go to all, whatever way you go to all, and everybody here. All right, all. So if we pull from here, there's like a slight delay. It'll take forever to pull, but we can slightly pull everything out of the bank by doing it like this. It's just leaving that first slot and then pulling it out last. See, okay, yeah, that's what it is. 1 slot left. That's how I know I have enough. If I have any more, yeah. So that's how you check. If you do it all exactly the same way as me, you should have 1 slot left in your bank or in your inventory. And that's just a quick way for your brain to check to make sure you got. You're pretty sure that you got all the items that you need. Okay, so now the trade segment is finally done. Oh, crap. Oh, man, I'm trying to help this guy out, but... Ah! Try to shoot a video. There we go. 3 arrows. We got the trade limits. Alright. Now, the trade segment is officially over. Oh my god. No, it's this. Oh, it's funny. Whatever. We're going to head down the stairs. Well, that one guy got the 3 arrows for me, or 10 arrows for me. He can sell it to the other guy for 1k. Hopefully. But yeah. If we go here, you go shift click here down, so that you just need to middle mouse button, oops, to activate the client, and then the shift will take it to effect, I think. Yep. Instead of having to right click, just save you a little bit of finger dexterity here. Or not dexterity, finger fatigue, finger energy. And then what I look for here when I get to this point is that all the mini-maps don't have a black circle, because if you go up the stairs, they have a black circle because you're in the castle. That's what I look for. So then we're going to go start Cook's Assistant. Starting the questing segment. Okay, so then what's wrong? So hold 1 down when you go to flash click or flash chat. Fingers are sore a little bit. Now this is up to you. I'll show you what happens here. If you... Hold on. So when you go to start the quest, a couple things are going to happen. You're going to have Quest Helper Pop, which is another plugin you should have on Rune Light. Should make this a lot easier, because it'll let you know if you forgot items too, without having to check every single time. So we're going to start. Now I'm just going to do it on one account to show you. See that? There's a couple extra chat options because I already had the inventory on me. So now if we do this, we can either just speed through them, which I do recommend you do, or you can click once the quest icon pops up. And then you can skip the jokes. It all depends on how tired your hands are, honestly. Because if you click up once the quest chat pops, he won't make all the jokes. But it does, you know, it's an extra 60 clicks roughly to go through the jokes. And your hands, I don't know, maybe other people got better hands than me. Maybe I have like carpal tunnel or something from all the years of playing. But my hands I lose a lot of dexterity. And just kind of keep squiggling around. Just keep the chats going until you see a bunch of cakes. Now we're there. Form another account bus. 2 account buses. At a spot that is very easily identifiable, so when you right click, you won't get a huge account stack. Always make your account bus drivers the same too, so that it's easy for your brain to keep identifying who the bus driver is. So then I walk out to make sure everybody's moving, and then while they're moving, I make sure I just go to the next one. Everybody here seems to be moving. Nobody's trapped. I walk through here just to make sure, because a lot of times I'll get hung up on that door if I try to run from the opening to out here to the woods. There is a bugger that will attack you, but just don't worry about it. You just don't stop in front of him, because he'll draw your auto retaliate from one of your guys if you stop moving, and then you'll leave an account behind. But I tend to like walk through these woods until I break through all these huge groups of trees. because it's a lot of spots to get hung up on, like this dead tree here, etc. So I just try to walk through this part so you kind of just get wherever you feel like you could break out and not get caught up. So like when I get to this like trench part here is normally when I feel comfortable going. Be careful about the jail guards. So follow the mud path and kind of just run up past them. And we're going to head to Diango to get the goblin staff and the chronicle and some pages now. See, there's the jail guard trying to aggro me. It can kill you in like 4 hits, I think. So just be careful here. Plus, you have the dark wizard over here too. So depending on where the Diango is, it's kind of a dangerous situation. But he's down here, it's kind of annoying because then the dark wizard can hit you. I have that trader. That plugin, man. Hopefully somebody could like say down below like what it is or whatever. But it makes a lot of this a lot more convenient, like one-clicking traders and stuff. Plus, then also one-clicking traders, and then also buying things from stores is also really nice too. Because if you click Cursed Goblin Staff, I can shift-click it. The Chronicle, and then a couple pages. Yep. Really good. Just take your time here, as you can't undo these mistakes here. Another thought I had was to have alternate accounts at each spot on standby with replacement stuff. So like say I misbought stuff here and I forgot gold or something like that, I could have an alt stationed here with replacement gold. While I'm clicking down here is I'm engaging the menu, so that I could shift click it and not screw that up. Even though it doesn't really matter if you like don't engage it and click, because the first click to engage the client will be to value. Check the value. Now that we're done here, we're going to reform the account bus. I just don't want to get stuck on the fences, so I'm just going to walk through until I get to the straightaway. And how I see it is like sometimes if you walk, whatever, as long as you have a little bit of energy coming back on everybody, you're getting times 20 the return of energy regeneration. So every 1 energy you regenerate, you're actually getting 20 back. So that's pretty good. And also, I don't recommend using energy potions because trying to manage 60 or a bunch of energy potions kind of defeats the purpose. Or 20 energy potions kind of defeats the purpose of the account buses, because every time you sip, you will break the bust. And we're gonna go to do this quest. Oh, it looks like we got a bunch of mages here. That'll be kind of annoying, but for that step. Same thing here, you can start the quest over. I'm going to do it this time, but there is like joke conversations. But my fingers are a little tired, so I'm going to skip those to save the couple of chats. Once you see all the amulets close out, we need to get our accounts to level 9 magic, because that did not get us all the way. So we need to attack the lesser demon, or sometimes I do jail guards over the fets. But we're just going to do lesser demons because it's right there. Even though it'll be a little bit of a struggle since I'll be competing with those other accounts over there. Kind of look like bots, but so do I, so I'm not going to call them botters. Just off the top of my head here, but they do seem a little body. Because normally I've done this a lot, and normally I see teams like that a lot, and they seem to be doing the same thing every time. Training magic up maybe to be like high health bots or something like that. Let's see here. So then we will attack the lesser demon. Yeah, there is exactly 3 copies on each world. But it could just be some dude's account farm. Who am I? Judge. But he is shredding that demon, so that's kind of making this obnoxious. I might need to hop worlds. Yeah, this ain't gonna work really. No, it'll be fine. No, I'll go to a jail guard. Fuck it. Alright, so we got our account buses going, and then we're going to go for the jail guards. This is going to be a little bit more tricky for me since sometimes I die doing this, and that is it sucks. It won't be that big of a deal though. I like attack cows on the road or something. Oh, that's why we walk. Getting to this door is very common to get stuck here. Go above it, then come down. And we're here to start Vampire Slayer. And I've done this before, but finish the entire conversation until the conversation ends itself. Because sometimes I thought I've started it and I never did. And I had to come back here and it really messed up my my run. So form the account buses again. And we are going to be walking to Goblin Diplomacy now. And we're going to take a pit stop at the cows, I think. I think that'll be the one. This is kind of an audible. This will be my first time doing this, so we'll see if it works or not. But it shouldn't. It doesn't change the route because my normal route. Whoops, it's the wrong button. My normal route is come down here. The highway man attacks me, but I'm going to come up here and just shoot across the fence for the pastures. Maybe just going in, so just worried about safe spotting. I don't think they'll be able to kill me anyway. Alright, so we'll just go into the cow pen and fight. And I do this so that I can see when I can cast Earth Strike. This seems like it could be a fun little funny money maker. Just eviscerating cows. So let's just count bus back up. That wasn't as good as the lesser demons, but it'll do. I feel like that took a lot more time than lesser demons, but you know, it is what it is. Now we got a straightaway. Pretty sure I won't get the accounts jammed up running through Valley like this. So now we're here for Goblin Diplomacy. We need to get everybody in there, and we need to dye all of the armors. Start the quest. Now, sometimes they're going to tell you an alternate chat where they ask you who's fatter. Yes, like out here. Yes, he looks fat. Just answer any of them, and then it'll get you to the same chat screen to start the quest. And then to start the quest, you 3. And then 3 again. Different color to start the quest. And this one's really going to burn your hand out. Chat him up again. Careful though. Yep, I just did it. There's goblins in here that can aggro you. And say 1. Oh, my wrist. I've clicked. It's one thing to note that if you click while you're in the cutscene, it will make you start over. Oh my god. Anyway. Oh, my bad. So now I've fill up the Chronicle. And then teleport. Because now we're heading to the Blue Moon Inn to talk to the Vampire Slayer guy. Reform your account buses. So you talk to me again to get him a beer, get your steak. As soon as you get to the steak picture, you can just leave the conversation, but I just like to finish them just to make sure I got... Is my check to know that I finished that step on all my accounts. Alright. Now in the bar too, this throws me off. There's a challenge, so it's not in the same spot. It's the third one down instead of the second one for setting up your account bus. Alrighty, now we gotta walk to Drainer Manor. Make sure I got everybody. There's the time so far. Now this door, you can kind of one tick 2 accounts at the same time if you get lucky here. Like that. It's some weird timing. And I don't really like to rely on it, but now that I'm trying, I will try it more. There we go. That's cool. Oh man, I messed up. Oh, whatever. That was fun. Oh, yeah. Did I just do 2? I did it again? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, I should have went for 3 on that one. Yeah, so that door, you can kind of, like, do that, I guess, because the door stays open. One enemy, I don't know why, but... Okay, so that's all open for us, so... Normally those doors are shut, so then you want to send your first account out first to go... Open them up, then click everybody over there, 1 click. But somebody was already in here. Like down here. So this guy's going to go first. And then bam, now that that's open, you can just bring up your camera a little bit and then just click over. And everybody will get there. And then now, we are going to... Oops. Top 5 accounts. Oops. To their own separate worlds even more. Now, why we're going to do this is it's kind of the same logic as the doors. And I'll show you, I'll just explain it to you. So, there's a safe spot. for this guy, but you can't use the save spot in the same world, if that makes sense. Up in this corner, I'll show you here in a second. Make sure to go back to the inventory. This screws me up a lot. Okay, so here's the safe spot. So you bring him up. You want to have your run on. You're going to run into this corner. You're going to run. Okay, or don't. You're going to wait for him to get there. Stand underneath him. Hopefully he'll go up here. Nope, because there's a 33% chance he'll go somewhere else. And once he's up there, you walk over to the right, and then you can immediately shoot him. But you cannot stack drainers in the same world. So we have 4 different worlds, like the door. Same thing with the door. So I'll have he's sitting up there safe spotting. You just start the next account. And that's why we only bring 3 fish. I used to just take them and fight them on each account and bring 10 fish. You can do that if you want to, if you're not comfortable doing this. That works just fine. So this is just now my preferred method because now these 2 are killing Drainer and I can just move on to the 3rd one. It seems to be about 4 worlds before the first one finishes. Like right now, see? Or just making use of that idle time. Sometimes you get really lucky like that. Sometimes you need to use all 3 fish. That's why when I accidentally ate on that other fish, or that other account, I said I really hope I don't need that. And then I just leave the screens up so I know which ones are completed and which ones I still need to process. Now, if you get down to 3 health or lower, you need to eat. Because he can hit 3s. If you're feeling extra spicy, you can do 2 at the same time if you have them open. 2 or 3. I know this kind of flies in the face of the idle time and the spam clicking and stuff that I've been talking about before, but this is better to be safe than die. If you die, that is a crazy amount of rework and it adds a lot of time. I used to have a run where I did like a Night Sword and stuff like that, and I would lose like 2 or 3 accounts per run, and it would add like 20 minutes for like 1 or 2 accounts to come back into the rotation. And then just doing it like this, even when I used to fight Trader, the Count Trader or whatever his name. Yeah. Even when I used to just fight him, sometimes I'd be like watching TV and then an account would die, and then boom, add 5 to 10 minutes per run. There's an insane amount of rework. Taking those few extra seconds just to make sure you're in a safe spot before moving on to the next account. A lot more efficient. Because we're just trying to reduce errors. All right. I guess while those guys are finishing up, we'll just start teleporting away. So there you have it. We got 10 quest points. We're at 65 magic. We should be able, with this amount of casts, we should be able to get about 46 magic, which would give us the 45 levels we need, or 35 levels we need to get to 100 total level. If not, bury some bones, whatever. It gets us really close. 1 or 2 levels ain't that bad. Maybe burn some logs. It's okay. But yeah. So now we're going to go teleport one more time so I can bring you to my spot. I forget though, I have to have 4 or 5 buses. 4 buses, because now I split the worlds up. But this works out because I'll show you in a second. Anyway, teleport. Do one more account bus. Here we are. This is where we're going to splash. I'll take you over to my spot, kind of give you the lay of the land. All right. So if you go to the right here, or the left here, you have about four rats that you can splash on, but I normally like to come over here. Because you have beyond the skeleton, you're no longer aggroing giant rats, and then there's about 5 rats on each side, because people come here and splash pretty often. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put on our splash gear, and then get to splashing. So then, a couple things to note then, like, yeah, you know, you'll have to get your 20 hours to get the trade restrictions off. But you can do that here. Because as long as that rat is attacking you, whoops, you will stay logged in. You may not get experience because you'll eventually stop aggroing, but he'll keep attacking you. So as long as nobody comes down here and trolls your rat, you should be able to splash for 15 minutes at a time, but stay logged in for 6 hours. And then to get the experience needed, oh shit. Oh, wrong staff. Yeah, I trolled the rat myself. See? Now he's gonna log out eventually. But anyway. To get the 46 magic, you only need to click, I think, 24 times, because you can stay splashing for 15 minutes at a time before you stop firing back. And then in those 24 15-minute increments, I believe is the correct math to get you up to 46 magic to get all the splashing done. If not, you know what I mean? Like, so that's like nothing. So essentially how I do the splashing segments, or the nerd timer segments, is that I would log in before I'd go to work, and then I would use remote desktop to connect my computer throughout the day. Or not even, sometimes I didn't have access, but it doesn't matter because I would stop before I go to work, and I would very least get the 6 hours logged in. So super, super, super efficient. Yeah. So that's it. Oh wait, I didn't stop my timer. Oh man, I've been going for probably like 3 minutes higher. I think we'll just not add the 5 minutes then for the math. That's the last thing I really want to do here. Just kind of go over the math and explain stuff a little bit more. 1 second though, please. It's just not super important that I get these guys going. Anyway, yeah, so there we go. So let's go over the math. Now that we got all those guys going, whatever. So we got 2 hours, 22 minutes. You know, while I was sitting there setting up all those splashers, that's going to be the 5 minutes extra probably. So let's just round up to 225. So pull open the paint. And then the text. So we got 2 hours, 25 minutes. We have 20 accounts. 2 hours, or you could say 120 minutes plus 25 minutes equals 145. Divided by, where's the divided by sign? Oh, /. 20. Calculadora. Equals 7.25 from creation. Okay, not even. So from creation to splashing, effectively by scaling it up to 20 accounts, you can have an account ready to go in 7 minutes and 25 seconds, or 7.25. So 0.25, a quarter of 60. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. 15. Yes, 7 minutes and 25 seconds. Or 7 minutes and 15 seconds. 7 minute, 15 seconds. Okay? Now, if you look at, if anybody watches this or whatever, you want any of this information or whatever, I have everything I've been making on my channel. I think is relevant to getting this time. Like my best time, I think I've done. So this is also while talking, making mistakes, messing up and stuff like that. This is the power of scale. Let me make myself a little bit bigger. See, I do a little bit of work on one account, I am little. But if I do a little bit of work on a lot of accounts, now I'm big. That's kind of what I'm going at right here. Okay? Can you guys even read that, hopefully? I can't tell by OBS, but if you can't read it, sorry. But because of scale, the clock ran the whole time. I did this all in one take on OBS. We can create an account effectively in 7 minutes and 15 seconds. And this was a bad run. So we can get that time down. And there's optimizations out there that I don't even know about. But if you guys do this, maybe you'll discover things that I can't know. But, you know, you can't cheat. This isn't cheating, okay? But yeah, like, what? This is insane. You know what I mean? And then in 20 hours, I'll have 20 accounts ready to fire up to get trading. So here you go. Hopefully this is useful. This is going to take me forever to edit, but man, like, this is what I'm talking about. I did another video of my free-to-play trade the day before, and it took me, what, 21 minutes from start to finish using energy potions and using the same route. 100% efficiency on one account, but like, I think it's 21 minutes to 25 minutes per account. You know what I mean? That's like 3x. That's 3x the labor. You know what I mean? So if it took me 3 years to make 10,000 accounts, what that means is if I did it this way, it'd only take me 1 year to make 10,000 accounts. You know what I mean? Like that amount of scale is insane. You know what I mean? If I could make 1 mil an hour, 3xing that is 3 mil an hour, man. So that means in 20, like if 12 hours I'm making 1 mil an hour, that's 36 mil in the same 12 hours. You know what I mean? Like the terms of scale here is insane. It's insane. And I hope you guys get some value out of this. I hope it doesn't destroy my method. But I don't know. This is my little passion project, and I wanted to kind of give it to the world. You know what I mean? And hopefully some guys get some use out of this. And if you got any value from this, I really appreciate a like, a subscribe, comment, whatever, feedback, whatever. Different optimization, stuff like that. And I just hope you get some value out of this. Sorry, I'm kind of ranting and my brain's like so mush because every time I do one of these runs, my brain turns to mush. Okay, so yeah. Have a great day. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for the channel. So Johnny Garrett's. And peace out. Girl Scout.